Aquarius. I did not mean to start recording, but anyways, hi, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you come across this video. Thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with me. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes. Everyone who's looking, making purchases off the website, pledges to the Patreon, sending things to the P.O. Box, purchases off the wish list, and tipping the Clarista. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much, Scorpio. I really... Scorpio? Okay, so Scorpio might be significant. I meant to say Aquarius. But anyways, all right, let's write it out. So Aquarius, intuitively, or kind of the theme that I've got here from this archetypes, there was, you know how when you plant a seed, or when really you don't even have to plant a seed. You know how sometimes, like, you know, either you're planting seeds or a seed will get planted kind of off, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I didn't plant that there, but that's beautiful there, you know, like it's like that type of energy, right? It's like the wind, you know, or even we have the river here kind of coming up. There's something that you maybe didn't intentionally plant, okay, that you're being aligned with, that you're being brought into. Sometimes life brings questions. Questions about love, questions about career, questions about your life journey, and sometimes we just need a little clarity. And that is where my new sponsor, Psychic Source, comes in. Psychic Source has been around for over 35 years, connecting people like you with trusted, compassionate advisors to bring through insights and guidance that they need at this time. One of the things that I loved, or that stood out to me with Psychic Source, was that not only do they care about their customers, but they also care about their employees as well as the world. They donate 1% of all proceeds to a good cause through their kindness initiative. I had a chance to experience the whole experience and talk to a psychic advisor, and I left feeling far more confident than I did like walking into it. She was able to pull on a recent dream that I had, and the craziness of it, and help me find clarity through that. She recognized that I was going through a purge, and that I was going through a kind of like a rebranding, if you will. She was also able to give me like kind of a little bit of clarity on a direction that I'm headed in, and she even was able to like give like dates type energy, as well as like a couple names she pulled out. So it was very good. Like I said, I left feeling a lot more confident than I did going in, just about the direction that I'm headed in. And I didn't ask her any questions. This was all just, I just asked her, what do you got? And she just came, you know, pulled all this stuff, and it was very good. It was very good. So with all that being said, I'm excited to share that Psychic Source is offering an incredible deal for my viewers, you guys. Okay, new customers can get up to 40 minutes with one of their advisors for just $19.80. That's a value up to $240, okay? You can get the deal through the link in the description box below using the keyword Corie, C-O-R-I-E, or you can go to trypsychicsource.com/Corie. There's never been a better time to experience true connection. Okay, it's something that's growing, okay, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Now, we do have the underworld at the bottom of the deck, but I feel like there's an energy of like, this happened while you were focused on other things, okay? This seed that was planted, okay? Give me just a second. It's almost like Aquarius, like, you know, there was a seed that kind of, you know, maybe you were planting these seeds, right? Or something along those lines, but one got picked up by the wind, right? And carried down the river. And the river is, you know, kind of helping you, it's helping you to kind of, it's taking you to, you know, it's like, the river is the trail, the path, you know, the alignment, right, with this seed. There's something about you kind of coming, you know, reaching a point where it's like the seed is coming into fruition here. Again, there's something very unexpected you didn't realize or you didn't know that you had planted. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Oh yeah, you're going to be feeling really good about this. Yeah, this is bringing a change in the wind for sure. Okay, and it's funny that a change in the wind is here, right? Because we were just talking about how the wind like picked up this seed, right, and kind of took it further down the river. Okay, but it was all about alignment. But again, it's something that I just really don't think that you're aware of. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. Yeah, and this river has been helping you mend. Okay, now we have this fork in the road, and that makes me feel like there's an option. Like I was gonna say that there's an option, but that's not actually what I was meaning to say here. Yeah, something not for you. This fork in the road is really kind of giving Aquarius energy of, especially with it coming out with this mending. There's something about two things being able to be true at the same time, right? Two things that maybe your belief systems or your restrictions, or I don't even like to say your restrictions, right? The restrictions that could have been projected onto you from the world, right? They're not yours. Maybe it made it hard for you to, right? It could have been like your environment or something like that. But there's something where you're like mending. It's like this fork in the road is not real, Aquarius. There's something about that, okay? There's something about this being an illusion, right? There's something about this being like an old programming. And it's like, yeah, there's something with some sort of discovery where it's like two things can really exist at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time, Aquarius. Okay, so over the next couple of weeks, right, you are going to come upon this seed that you had no idea that was planted, okay? Because you were too busy and focused on mending and healing and, that type of energy. But it's going to be very exciting here, okay? Aquarius, I do feel like a lot of you can feel these shifts and these changes happening, right? I think that you're very aware of it here, okay? All right. So yeah, so there's definitely a seed that's been planted. You have no idea, right? That type of energy. They're also reminding me too with the what's the tree that comes from the acorn, right? There's something about the whole tree being inside the acorn, right? Something about like there's the seed, whatever it is, there's something very big within it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyways, okay, what's this? What else does Aquarius need to know for the next couple-ish weeks, please? Okay, Aquarius, this is you ascending, right? Floating down the river here, but there is somebody too, that is experiencing some sort of, mentally and emotional, instability, okay? But that's because of some sort of karma. They did some sort of voodoo here, okay? Aquarius, you've walked away from some sort of community, I think, okay? But it's because you were able to see past the veil, you recognize their emotional pain. And this isn't you walking away because, out of insensitivity or something like that. It's because you've kind of elevated past this energy, right? Yeah. There's something about a community watching you. This community may be watching you, but there was somebody that was doing some weird voodoo stuff, okay? And I'm not against, you know, I don't know much about voodoo, right? But if somebody's receiving some sort of karma, it's because they were using their gifts and these tools and things like that to harm someone else, okay? You know, because I don't believe that it's all bad, right? Just like I don't, you know, a lot of people look at tarot and card reading and mediumship and it's all bad, right? Categoried all bad, right? And I think that that's not fair. Because it just like with anything, right? Like you can literally anything at all, a gun, right? But it's all about your intentions behind it. That's what makes it either a tool or a weapon, okay? And so that's just my little spiel. But yeah, somebody was using voodoo as a weapon, okay, and not a tool, and they're receiving some sort of karma for that, okay? Yeah. You're coming into some sort of North Node energy, and that's where this seed has been growing, okay? It's like, you know, it's like there was a seed that maybe, again, for some of you, it's like, I don't know that you planted it, right? I feel as though it's very unexpected. And so it's something that the wind kind of carried off right down the river. And meanwhile, you've been ascending, aligning, floating down the river, right? Going through forgiveness and mending and all of those things, stepping into this North Node energy. And it's about time for you to come off the river, and it's like right where you're supposed to be getting off, there's where this seed is. You know what I mean? Yeah. And anyone, it's like whoever is experiencing this karma because they were using certain things as a weapon rather than a tool, they are very obsessed here, okay, with what you've got going on, okay? That's that community that I was talking about that I feel like is watching you. Yeah. Because you've healed yourself, Aquarius. This was very unexpected, okay? I think that when you left this community or walked away from this group or something like that, you could have very well been also in that emotional pain or in this mental and emotional instability, right? And so there is a group that I feel like now they're seeing you in this healer energy and they're finding themselves very obsessed. And I think that that obsession is actually a part of this karma that they're getting for using something as a weapon rather than a tool. Okay, Aquarius? Yeah. But as far as you're concerned, there's some unexpected seed that you unknowingly planted, or the divine you didn't know, but the divine had planted, and you're about to witness it. You're about to see it. You're about to, you know what I mean? It's about to come into fruition. It's about to sprout. It's about to, yeah. All right. Tell me about this mental and emotional instability for. Yeah. Somebody could have also said that, you know, they could have lied about your mental and emotional stability. Okay. Yeah. And I feel like this community maybe recognizing that, realizing that here, okay? Yeah, with this ascension, we have divinity here. Somebody could have done this, you know, use this voodoo as a weapon against an older man, or this was an older man that did this, okay? That's receiving some sort of karma. Yeah, actually, it's a whole community that's receiving some sort of karma here. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like Aquarius, you've leveled up to a certain point that I don't think that this community expected you to. Okay.
You know, I feel like there are things that reflect, like maybe your house or your career, your business. There's something that's really reflecting this work that you've done, the energy that you're in here, okay? And yeah, there's some people, this community, I feel like is kind of obsessed because it's almost like you've reached some sort of tax bracket that they never anticipated you coming into, okay? Um, you know, this is somebody who could have used some sort of voodoo to try to, you know, attach some sort of entity. And maybe in the past it worked, right? But you have healed, okay? You have been washed clean, okay? What's that? When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You know what I mean? That's this energy. You're about to know. You're about to see this seed, and you're about to know. Yeah, I've been washed clean here. Okay? But yeah. So, Aquarius, this is what's going on. Okay? For the next couple-ish weeks. I'm excited for you. I'm, you know, this community, they're going to be going through some shit, I'm telling you, okay? They are watching you, all right? You may pick up on their energy a wee bit, okay? But honestly, I feel like you're going to be so, just, I'm hearing enamored, okay, with this seed that, this, you know, this unexpected, blessing, this unexpected, you know, whatever it is that's coming into fruition here for you. Okay? And it's like, you know, I feel like it's a tree. It's not just a, you know, a beautiful flower that's going to bloom for one season. This is a tree that's very strong, very stable, okay, very rooted. You know, again, that seed had floated up the river, right? So it's had time for, you know, to plant and germinate and, you know, grow roots and, you know, all of those things before you even get to it. And there's purpose in that, right? But yeah, they just keep saying it's a whole damn tree. Okay. So whatever that is, that's good. Anyways, all right, Aquarius. I love you.